When engineer Suleiman Hussaini Adamu, fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers, fellow Academy of Engineering, was appointed as the Honorable Minister of Water Resources by President Muhammadu Buhari in 2015, he hit the ground running and showed a demonstration of bureaucratic skills and managerial expertise that saw him, the departments and agencies under his ministry, fulfilling their mandate in line with President Muhammadu Buhari's agenda of change, now known as the next level. Among the numerous foot soldiers of the incumbent administration of President Muhammadu Buhari, adding inestimable value to his agenda of next level, is the Honorable Minister of Water Resources, Engineer Suleiman Hussaini Adamu, fellow Nigerian Society of Engineers, fellow Academy of Engineering. This is on account of his numerous groundbreaking efforts to revolutionize the sector through enhanced integrated water resources management, economic diversification through water supply, irrigation and drainage, dams and reservoir operations, sanitation and hygiene. Since assumption of office over 6 years ago, unprecedentedly, the minister had begun by developing a concise roadmap signaling where the project Water Ministry is taking off from and where it is headed for.
One of the major reasons behind the creation of the Water Resources Ministry is to support irrigation agriculture. And river basins were created, and a lot of irrigation infrastructure was constructed in the 70s and the 80s. But by the time we came into office, like 50% or more of the irrigation infrastructure was not working. That is to say, there's been no further development, or at least substantial development, and even the existing systems were not being operated and managed as should be. And the same thing applies to the dams and the water supply projects all across the country, to the extent that in the 1990, 30% of the Nigerian population was enjoying pipe-borne water, but by 2050 it had dropped to 7%. And therefore, there had to be a new focus for the sector. And in that regard, 2 weeks into coming into office, I organized a retreat, invited major stakeholders in the water sector to chart a way forward. And we came up with what we call the Water Sector Roadmap 2016 to 2030. We came up with a 15-year program to revitalize the water resources sector. And that's what we'll be working on.
The Honorable Minister, therefore, was focused on leaving no stone unturned in developing more of his ministry's resources towards completing over 116 abandoned projects he made on ground on assumption of office in 2015, as opposed to initiating new ones. This is the hallmark of this administration's passion and commitment to dedicated delivery of good governance. These singular acts of uncommon patriotism demonstrating that, indeed, government is a continuum, had generated nationwide applause to the delight of all. The minister, during one of his many public presentations, gave the inherited projects as 38 numbers of irrigation and drainage projects, 37 numbers of dams, and 41 numbers of water supply projects. Completed dam projects are 12 and 3 are completed on the hydropower projects. Completed and partially completed irrigation projects are 9. Completed water supply projects are 30. Realizing that there was little he could achieve by constituting himself into an island in the close comfort of his office in Abuja, he stepped all out to reach and empower his numerous agencies and departments scattered around the country for an added feeling, thus enabling them to prove their own mettle in unique ways. This is what is today evident in the various river basin development authorities (RBDAs) around the country and other agencies, as well as technical departments of the ministry. In the last 6 years, the minister has resiliently driven the agenda of next level of the present administration in consonance with the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan (ERGP) towards revitalizing the economy. The Department of Irrigation and Drainage, with its policy objectives, proved a launchpad for embarking on extensive and all-year-round irrigated agriculture towards attaining government's plan for food sufficiency and security, poverty alleviation through job creation and greater income generation, as well as reducing rural-urban migration. The Department of Water Supply is responsible for the execution of policies, monitoring and coordination of water supply intervention schemes nationwide. The Department of Dams and Reservoir Operations is focused on delivering its mandate of ensuring that dams in the country are kept safe and maintained for adequate utilization to meet the intended purposes, especially water supply, irrigation, power generation, fisheries, recreation, tourism, and flood control. The Water Quality Department equally contributes to the work on the plow by fulfilling its responsibilities of managing the nation's water quality and promotion of water sanitation and hygiene.
Revitalizing the river basin development authorities, developing a new program for irrigation. We have now a 15-year national irrigation program. And along the way, we've created new programs and to support what we're doing, like the Partnership for Expanded Water Supply, Sanitation and Hygiene program, which is aimed at ensuring that the rural communities of this country attain 100% access to water supply by the year 2030.
The River Basin Development Authorities, the 12 of them, are on the right path. 6 years down the line, a lot has happened. The vision has been retuned, refocused, and now the RBDAs are keying in to the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan as regards the diversification of the Nigerian economy. And so the mandate of the RBDAs now have moved on to focus on agriculture. The 12 RBDAs have been mandated, directed by the Honorable Minister of Water Resources, Engineer Suleiman Adamu, to refocus on agriculture using the Songhai Integrated Farm Model. And so every RBDA is expected to have not less than 3 Songhai farms in their areas of jurisdiction.
The Director, River Basin Operations and Inspectorate Department, Mr. John Ochigbo, speaks further on the revitalization and repositioning of the River Basin Development Authorities.
The major focus of the strategic plan of the River Basin on irrigation, job creation, public-private partnership, and integrated river basin management. What we are doing, based on the ERGP plan of the federal government, is to encourage the RBDAs to enhance irrigation potentials across the country, and so they have acquired lands from the communities, and then they have dams, bulk waters that they're using for irrigation, and the expertise. So what they are doing is to increase their hectarage of irrigation, and they have been doing that in the last 5 years. The essence of this is to provide produce sufficient food for local consumption and even for export. And we're leveraging on the Songhai model, integrated model farming schemes, and as well as graduate youth empowerment programs to be able to expand on these programs.
The Nigeria Integrated Water Resources Management Commission, charged with the mandate of protecting, conserving and ensuring effective water resources management, had on its own carried out this function assiduously, relying on available water resources laws while also monitoring and enforcing quality assurance in long and medium terms with regards to water security. The National Water Resources Bill, when passed into law, will enable this agency fully fulfill its mandate. Other achievements of the Commission include developments of national guidelines for compliance, monitoring and enforcement of water use in Nigeria 2018, National Water Source Protection Guidelines 2018, Integrated Water Resources Information System e-Library Project 2018, Online Water License and Permit Application Portal 2018, upgrading of Komadugu Yobe Catchment, Management Plan CMP to cover the entire Lake Chad Basin, as well as issuance of 17 numbers, licenses and 4 numbers permits so far, involving not less than 275 million cubic volumetric water rights across the various catchment areas. Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency (NISA) is a research-based organization with the mandate of providing data on the nation's water resources and maintenance of hydrological services. It has been fulfilling its mandate by educating and sensitizing Nigerians round the clock on the issues of flood, thus preventing a national calamity that may have resulted as a result of not being warned beforehand nationwide. The yearly unveiling of the annual flood outlook of the Nigerian Hydrological Agency has become highly sought-after event which serves to warn people in flood-prone areas of the impending flood with recommendations on measures to mitigate.
The density, the spread of hydrometeorological stations is still very low in the country. We don't have even, I think, up to half of what we require in terms of hydrometeorological stations. These are stations where you measure rainfall, you measure river flow, temperature, and so on, and that is what you use to be able to do all your hydrological calculations. Remember, even if you're a highway engineer doing a culvert, would require hydrological data at a particular stream because he needs to know how much water is flowing across the stream and be able to determine what size of culvert will work. So when you see culverts overrun or bridges being overrun by flood waters, you know that the hydrological calculations have not been right, or probably there has been no hydrological data available for that to happen. And that's one very important aspect of NISA. So what did you do? We found that there's a lot of constraint in the budget, the national budget. They don't usually get all the money they need to be able to provide this hydrometeorological station. And even to modernize them, because now you have hydromet stations that you can operate remotely. They are linked to satellite imagery, and for city here in Abuja, you can measure the flood level anywhere or the amount of flow. We have some of them like on River Niger, in Lokoja, in Niamey. We're working with the Niger Basin Authority, but we need many more of this. So now what we have done is we have told all the 12 River Basin Development Authorities that look, whatever work you're doing, it's all synergy. We want all the agencies of the Federal Ministry of Water Resources to be supporting each other because they need to be complementing each other.
Not long ago, NISA had drilled over 32 wells, in addition to doing studies on the coastal and inland regions of the country relative to interfacing salt contaminated water that would have economic consequences. The agency acquires data through the satellite monitoring of water levels and bodies. It uses technology to determine availability or otherwise of water in a designated location. It is in realization of the vital role of the River Basin Development Authorities as the vehicle for grassroots development, which is agriculturally based, that the present administration placed a lot of premium in repositioning these river basin authorities for effectiveness and efficiency. The river basins, 12 in number, which are spread across the country, currently support irrigated agriculture with several irrigation facilities and well over 264 functional dams which support other water supply needs of Nigerians. The Songhai farm model is yielding very positive dividends in these river basins, just as the Graduate Youth Farmers Scheme, which is an initiative of the Honorable Minister, Engineer Suleiman Hussein Adamu, is serving to provide employment for youths of the nation.
The River Basin Development Authorities, as far as I'm concerned, are enablers. Their role, okay, they provide irrigation facilities, irrigation infrastructure for the country, support irrigation farmers, but it's also this kind of modern technique, they should also spread them out to farmers around, because these are techniques that will boost production, agri production. And therefore, it's not just for them to install these facilities and use them for IGR. No, they are to popularize them within the farming communities around. So, having established the Songhai farms, they have dormitories, they have lecture halls to bring in people to train. I think it's important that they also reach out through extension services to farmers around them. And you know, one of the aspects of the revitalization of the River Basin Development Authority that we introduced was to reintroduce extension services, which were cut off before. So river basins were there providing the irrigation canals, but they were not in any way positioned to provide agricultural support and extension support services to farmers by way of educating them on farming techniques, providing inputs and so on and so forth. Yes, it's with a responsibility of the Federal Ministry of Agriculture, but we can always synergize, and that's what we're doing. We've improved our relationship with the Federal Ministry of Agriculture, and we'll continue to provide these extensive services, and now also working hard to ensure that we even take statistical data about what is being produced within its River Basin Development Authority, so that we can know what impact we're making.
The extensive work of the 12 River Basin Development Authorities, which have been revolutionized to fully carry out their mandate, are recorded on the sands of time. The National Water Resources Institute, NWRI, was established in 2004 and charged with the responsibility of training water engineers, geologists, hydrogeologists, technologists, and technicians in the water sector. The institute is also responsible for the training of sector stakeholders and conduct of applied research in all aspects of water resources in the country.
The institute has been a reservoir of intellectual support to us. Like I said, some key investigations and research activities we direct the institute, instead of maybe hiring other consultants to do it. If once we've seen that there is in-house capacity to do this thing, we have engaged and they've done quite a good work. They did all the flood assessment in 2018, I think, for Ogun State, and with all the the economic analysis of the impact of the flood and so on, which formed the basis for the federal government to provide some compensation support, to Ogun State government. The same thing in Jigawa State, the floods in Hadejia. They've been doing a lot of research for us, even being able to identify why there was prevalence of kidney disease in some parts of Jigawa along the axis of the River Hadija. So they are doing quite a lot of work that I'm aware of and I'm fully satisfied with.
Our Nigerian Water Resources Institute is critical to the water sector in terms of building up capacities and capabilities to deliver on the mandate. And so that institute has courses well accredited, has certifications well accredited, that train our engineers, train our water engineers, train our hydrologists, our geologists. It also carries out induction courses for every new entrant to the water sector, whether it be of the ministry or of her agencies or the River Basin Development Authorities. And that is why I say it is critical, because definitely without knowledge, without the requisite knowledge, we will not be able to deliver on the mandate.
The Institute is additionally responsible for establishment and maintenance of Water Resources Library. In the coming episodes, an extensive exposition of the Honorable Minister's consolidated schedule of accomplishments through the Ministry's various technical departments and agencies, as well as projects scattered along the length and breadth of the country, will be presented to your screens for the attainment of an informed citizenry and inclusive governance of the Nigeria's water resources sector under the watch of the President Muhammadu Buhari's administration.